Hey, what's up everybody? This is Steven and I'm here to give my first ever my glasses are messing with the lights. I'm here to give my first ever reaction and my take on the special moments of The Chosen Season 2. I've been planning to do this for many months already, many weeks already, but this is the only time that I've gotten the time to record. After I just finished watching Season 2, Episode 5, which I was very excited about. Sorry about the shake. And now I'm gonna give you my take on the episode and what my favorite moments were in the episode. All right, so we see this episode filled with scenes on Simon the Zealot, and I was so excited in episode 4 when Simon the Zealot was like highlighted, because not a lot of stories are in the Bible about Simon. He was just mentioned about as one of the apostles, right? But he was really one of the people that Jesus chose. And we all know, even in the Bible, and starting with The Chosen, we know this is the perspective of the people around Jesus's time, right? Or when they were with Jesus. And we all know that Jesus, when he calls somebody, he chooses that someone. And the fact that Simon the Zealot was part of the inner circle of Jesus, like the 12 apostles, then he was chosen specifically for a purpose. And that's what we saw now, because they had this poignant moment in the lake near the body of water, right? And he had expectations about the Messiah, and which is very human, it's so relatable, because all of us, you and I, we all have expectations of God. And yeah, especially in their time, because they had this idea, again, you know this, that the Messiah was somebody who's going to deliver them from the enemies of Israel, and they had this military idea of a Messiah, like a king who's going to vanquish all their enemies. But we now know, 2,000 plus years after, we now know what Jesus was going to do. So, but even now, in our modern times, we Christians or not, we have expectations about God. We have certain ideas about God that are usually not met. And I really liked it because that scene where Jesus had to, you know, just explain a little bit to Simon that he had a different mission, but Simon was very open to what Jesus had to say. And I really like that scene. And then I also loved the scene of the demoniac who was healed by Jesus. And I wasn't expecting how the scene turned out to be, because and maybe they're gonna, because you know this is 8 seasons, right? There's a lot of episodes, guys. But in this particular, I'm sure a lot of you who have been reading the Bible, and we have come across the episodes of the demoniacs, wherein Jesus had to like tell the evil spirit to go out from the person, right? And we always have this this modern idea of how this happens. And even myself, I was expecting a lot of people will be there. It will be very dramatic. It will be like set up properly, it will be highlighted. But I like how Dallas and his team took this, because it was really right in the moment, and it was so, what shall I say? How shall I say it? It was like plausible that that's how demoniacs acted, right? They were violent. They were like growling and gnarling, and when people tried to stop them, of course they would be prompted by the evil spirit to just attack. Maybe plausible. It's plausible that could happen. And then in the middle of the action, we hear Jesus like running, and then he says, "Out of him." And yeah, at first, to be honest, I was a bit disappointed about the scene, but then like a few moments later I said, yeah, that's plausible. It could have happened like that. And you know, I really believe, I don't know if Dallas or the team, I just really want to say thank you to the team of The Chosen because you guys have stuck, or you have stayed with your goal of making it really more human and more realistic than the Bible can offer to us. Because of course the Bible is theological, it has its purpose, but now it's a series. I like it because my point is, the miracles of God, the miracles that Jesus or God does even up to now, do not necessarily need to be set up properly. Like it doesn't really get highlighted like, oh my gosh, the miracle's gonna happen, the miracle's gonna happen. No, usually like, miracles just come without us even thinking about it. And I love that this was shown by The Chosen team, and the demoniac. And I love it because in the previous episodes, when there's a healing, like in season 1, right, when there's a healing, there would be like a highlight on the person and like that, and Jesus. But at this time, because, you know, they were busy, Jesus was busy, and Simon was there, and then Mary also had her own baggages. So there, he just said, take care of him, tend to his wounds, and then he's gonna do it. And of course, John was there, the Baptist. So I like it because it's really human, right? I don't know, maybe you're a servant of the Lord. Maybe you're serving in your parish or in your community, in your church, and life could get busy, right? And yes, we know it's a miracle, or we know something good has happened in our lives, but then we don't really have enough time to just ponder on it, right? And yeah, I like I like what they did there. And now the top favorite moment, which really got me emotional, was, well, I don't know why I'm emotional now thinking about it. The moment of the poignant moment of John the Baptist and Jesus. A lot of us, we really forget that they were just the same age, right? Maybe different years, I don't know, but the same age, because John was just 6 months. Was it 3 months or 6 months? I don't really know, but he was a few months older than Jesus. Comment below and tell me how much older John was. And a lot of people, even myself, I thought, or I never had the idea, at least earlier in my journey in the Christian life, I never had this idea that Jesus and John actually met as children. They talked as young adults, and now that they're doing both of their missions, we do not really have that in our minds that they communicated. But I love it because The Chosen has shown us that they did communicate, because they were just in Jerusalem, they were just in Israel, guys, and it's like a very small state, right? And they are sure to cross paths. And especially, we also do not realize that John was so dedicated to his role as the forerunner of Christ. I believe, and it was mentioned here, he knew about the prophecy of Zechariah, his father, and he also learned about the Song of Mary, the Magnificat. And while growing up, he became a Nazarene, right? And he was so serious about his role as the one who would prepare the way. And I believe that they communicated. And even then, in this episode, John was a bit, he said he was a bit rude, and I don't believe he was rude. He was just honest and blunt about it. Like, Jesus, what are you doing? Are you gonna be nice to these people? Because I'm not. See, he was like that, and I knew that in my heart that John really saw Jesus as God. Maybe not like in his glorified state, but even seeing Jesus as Jesus the man, he knew in his spirit that this is the Son of God. And yeah, I loved it when he said that my heart is yours, my life is yours. And that was a very, very intimate moment between the forerunner and the Messiah. And one more favorite moment when John was about to go to Jerusalem to confront Herod. I loved it that the scene was Jesus knew in his heart that what's gonna happen to John, and he just cried. He cried for his cousin. He loved. He remember he said, "I love you," and it really makes Jesus accessible to us who are watching the series. And Jesus has always been accessible, right? But we forget that Jesus knows us. Jesus cares for you and me. So I loved it that this is a very great reminder for us. And yeah, I just hope that and Dallas Jenkins says that this is just a very small part of the bigger picture, which I understand.